Welcome to Larry's Library, and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Scan. And I'm getting back to the ever popular Kobra series. Yes, that was sarcasm. Today I read issue 5 of Kobra. This one right here. So, this cover is pretty great, and this is a logo change from the old Kobra. Maybe I'll show an example of the old one. In case you forgot, 2 weeks ago, issue 4. But yeah, they changed the logo. I think I like this logo better, actually. And this cover is pretty cool. It's by Rich Buckler and Frank McLaughlin is the inker. I'm not familiar with that inker, but I'm very familiar with Rich Buckler. I've always liked his stuff. He's definitely an underrated artist. I hardly ever hear anyone mention Rich Buckler. What I know him best from is he created the Devil Slayer character for Marvel. And he also took that same character, some example of my obscure trivia that no one cares about, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. He took that character over to Atlas Comics, you know, that doomed attempt at taking on Marvel by Stan Lee's brother, Larry Lieber. He did that Atlas Seaboard Comics in the mid-70s. And a lot of artists and writers were poached from both Marvel and DC to go on titles over there. And the whole thing, it's a pretty fascinating story if you don't know about Atlas Seaboard, but you should check into it. But I enjoyed a lot of those books, but they were short-lived. After, I think, less than a year, that whole company was done, defunct. It was an experiment that failed. But anyway, Rich Buckler was poached from Marvel, and he brought the Devil Slayer character over to Atlas, where he was known as Demon Hunter. Or maybe I have it wrong. Maybe it was created as Demon Hunter and then moved back to Marvel as Devil Slayer. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But that's a subject for a whole other video. If you want to know about Devil Slayer Demon Hunter, let me know in the comments. I'm sure it'll be super popular too. But anyway, so this is Rich Buckler penciling, and I really like it a lot. And he is busting through the page here, busting through the cover on this rather dynamic cover, which I like a lot. It's got the white background, so it really pops nicely. Like that a lot. And getting into the opening page here is a continuation of the cover. Very clever, I think. I mean, you could call it gimmicky, but it's a gimmick that works, I think, in this case. Because you have the Kobra character melting through with that power rod thing he's got through the cover. And it's a continuation of the first cover. Sort of? I don't know. But, and then the narration talks about the story originally scheduled for this magazine will not appear. All records and events have been destroyed and burned away. And then Kobra is burning through the cover on this opening shot. It's pretty cool. And this art here is also Rich Buckler, inked by Frank McLaughlin. And Martin Pasco is still doing the story, so he's continuing on here. And this is a bit of a departure, not just for the logo, but this comic book takes a fairly long time. The bulk of this issue is introducing this new character, Johnny Double. That's his name. He's a PI in San Francisco. And he ends up inadvertently on the trail of Kobra. And then Kobra's thugs are pursuing him, trying to kill him, basically, or throw him off the trail of Kobra all through this issue. So this Johnny Double PI, I think, is to replace the Perez CIA agent character they killed off of. I don't think it might have been last issue, but it was earlier. They killed off Perez. And so I think this Johnny Double is part of the new departure. So they're trying anything to keep this series afloat, you know. And it says in the back here, in one of the back pages, that they're hoping that Rich Buckler will be their permanent penciler. Well, I hope so too, because this is really good. The art in it is really good. The story is still somewhat hokey, but they've taken it more of a sort of a spy and noir bent to the plot in this one. And I'm here for it. I like it. The Rich Buckler art is really good. The inking by McLaughlin is really good. it's a very text-heavy narration and dialogue in this one, so it took me a little bit to read through this, a little slower than previous issues. But yeah, there's a lot of skullduggery going on, and they try to kill Johnny Double. They plant a bomb in his taxi cab, which he had borrowed from a friend, so he could do this undercover work as a taxi cab driver, which reminded me a little bit of Moon Knight, with that taxi cab as a cover thing. But yeah, there's a lot of hand-to-hand fighting, a lot of gunplay here. It's funny, I'll show a scan of it. Johnny Double carries a 38 Magnum. Yeah, Martin Pasco calls it a 38 Magnum. I mean, essentially that's not inaccurate as far as, I mean, a 357 Magnum is the same diameter and size bullet as a 38 Special. But they don't call them 38 Magnums, and I don't think they ever did. But, so that was kind of a funny gaffe on Martin Pasco's part, I thought. But maybe that's just me as a weapons geek, but yeah, I thought it was humorous. And there's a plot to blow up the Golden Gate Bridge. And then we find out in this one, I mean, it's been, I guess, sort of mentioned in previous issues that Kobra's ultimate goal, but it just flat out is said here that he wants to basically rule the planet. He wants to rule planet Earth. And he has this technology now he's developed where he can create earthquakes. So he has this needle device implanted in a column on the Golden Gate Bridge. And when this sets off, it's going to destroy the bridge and then open up the San Andreas Fault to make this huge earthquake as an example of his power. But I will show a scan of this page here. No page numbers in this one. I don't know what page number this is, but I will scan it. And it shows some great inking work by this McLaughlin and great penciling by Rich Buckler. I mean, it's throughout the book. Good job on the art here. And the final page is a really nicely done piece of art, too. Beautiful inking and line work here. Another very hokey plot device because they're trying to put this detective off their trail all through the issue, and then they're trying to just outright kill him. And then when they capture him, instead of killing him, what does Kobra do? He straps him to the column on the Golden Gate Bridge where he's going to set this device off. Obviously giving him another opportunity to try to escape before the device goes off. So why? Why would you do that? Because plot, because I mean, you've been trying to kill this guy all this time, you tried to blow him up. So now instead of just killing him while you have him bound, you're going to do a damsel in distress number, I guess, like the old villains when, twirling their mustache, you're strapping the girl to the train tracks. You're going back to that kind of thing instead of just polishing him off. But, that's... Sometimes I would say that's comic books, but it extends beyond that. That's just stories. Because, I mean, you see that in movies and TV, too, where the villain, instead of just, doing his ultimate goal, killing the hero, instead we're going to play around with him and strap him to some crazy device, But, anyway, I do like that ending page. It's pretty cool looking. Good artwork, for sure. Art far better than the plot. But I had fun with it. And I hope you did too, taking a look at this quick look. Fairly quick look at Kobra issue number 5. So we are nearing the end. I think this went 7 issues, 6 or 7. I don't have the info in front of me, but I have them all. Plus where they wrapped it up in a special issue. So we'll get to that. And I hope you're here for it. But next week I'll be back to the Godzilla run. And tomorrow will be my regular Monday stuff. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you.